Is tonight's game a must-win for the Nuggets? They've got to get it done. This might be the biggest game of the series so far. This is your Denver Sports Daily for May 9th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Tonight, the Nuggets are heading into their Game 3 matchup against the OKC Thunder. It's going to be a crazy game. As you remember, on Wednesday, the Nuggets lost by an incredible 43 points. A terrible way to lose Game 2, especially when you had a great chance to get it done. You had a great chance to set yourself up coming back to home with a 2-0 lead. They took that first game. They won in Game 1 in OKC. Incredible win. Aaron Gordon hit that dagger 3. And then the next game, the Thunder just turned up. And one thing that I've heard about these matchups, especially these past two, was that the Nuggets seemed to perform at the highest level in Game 1, their best performance possible. That's what people are saying. Is this the best performance that the Nuggets can give and win by 2 points? When on the other hand, the Thunder showed what their best is, and they won by 43 points. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think that what we saw was the best performance in a second half in Game 1. That's where the Nuggets really shined. They gave it their all, and so did the Thunder. Both teams are performing at the highest level in Game 1 in that second half. The problem was that the Nuggets went down and really started to screw themselves in that first half of the game. So they didn't have that same momentum that they could have, they could have gotten that same momentum, is a better way to say it, in Game 2, but instead of growing on it and exceeding what they should be able to do in that second half, they just kept falling apart. They got tired. And maybe that's not the worst case scenario in Game 2. Let the starters rest, give them some time to, sit down, because there wasn't a long time. There was fatigue. There really was. You're playing a 7-game series against the Clippers, and then 2 games later, you're back at it against a team who had a week off. The OKC Thunder had a whole week to get back into it, and then they may have came out a little bit cold. So that's where that Game 1 difference is. But tonight is a different battle. They are back at home. The Nuggets are. They're back in Ball Arena. If you know the Nuggets, you know that they're one of the best home teams in the league. So this is a great opportunity to take a 2-1 series lead. There's a good chance that they could. I'm not going to go out there and say that they're going to win, but they could. This is going to be a very telling game. And this is going to be one of those games that may decide who's going to win the finals, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But these two teams right now, they should be the favorites to win the finals. Whoever comes out of this series should win the finals. It's very reminiscent of when the Toronto Raptors were taking on the Philadelphia 76ers in the second round back in 2019. And if you remember that, it came down to a Game 7 buzzer beater from Kawhi Leonard, the greatest shot of all time. And then the Raptors went on to win the finals. That's what people were saying about that. It's whoever wins this series will win the finals. And it's very reminiscent of that. That's how I feel about this series. Now, if the Nuggets do want to win tonight, they're going to have to fix a couple things. That first one is the turnovers. In the first game of the series, they had 18 turnovers and 23 points off of them. They just were allowing the Thunder to get up in their face and force turnovers over and over and over, and it worked out. For the first half, it worked out. And then the Nuggets ended up coming back and getting that late win. And then in the second game, you're allowing 21 turnovers. You turn the ball over 21 times, of course you're getting blown out. Of course. They did allow 34 points off of those turnovers, which is even crazy to believe that those 34 points off of turnovers, if they had 0 turnovers and didn't allow any points off of them, they still would have been blown out by almost double digits. They would have still lost that game. So the first step to winning this game is limit the turnovers. If the Nuggets want to have a good game tonight, they shouldn't have any more than 5 turnovers as a team. I know it sounds lofty, but if you have more than 5 turnovers, if you allow the OKC Thunder to get up in your face and force some turnovers and force some steals, it's going to be a bad way to go out. The second thing that the Nuggets are going to have to work on tonight, Nikola Jokic needs to stay out of foul trouble. In Game 1, he had 5 fouls. He was playing soft towards the end. You were seeing him. He wasn't getting up in the defense as he was in the beginning of the game, really getting up in their face, contesting shots, but he was getting fouled, or he was fouling. They were drawing fouls on Nikola Jokic, and it's a smart mindset. If you're the Thunder, they're going out there. How do we get the best player in the world to not have the same effect? You make him foul. You get him out of the game early. And in the second game, they succeeded at that, making him foul out. 11 fouls in 2 games. That's what Nikola Jokic has right now. He almost fouled out in both games. He had 6 in game 2, 5 in game 1. Limit Nikola Jokic's foul trouble, and they can win. Again, let him perform at that same level he did in game 1 where he had 40 and 20. If he does that, again, the Nuggets win. The third thing, and this one is going to be the hardest for the Nuggets to do, get Michael Porter Jr. some shots. Not just some shots, get him some made shots. He needs to go out there and start performing at the level that he should as a max contract player. There's an issue, and Michael Porter Jr. knows that there's an issue. It's in his head right now. Get away from the yip. He's got the yips or something. And even saying that, when I say that word, I get shivers because you don't say that word. But he's got them. He needs to fix that if he wants to go out and actually stay on this team, first of all. And especially for the Nuggets, if they want to get any trade value, he needs to start performing at a level where teams are going to see him and be like, this guy is somebody we want on our team. So it's Michael Porter Jr., limit Nikola Jokic's foul trouble, and limit the turnovers. If the Nuggets can do those 3 things, this game should be a win. It's going to be a huge game tonight. It's tipping off at 8 p.m., so I'm definitely going to be tuned in. Crazy game. Game 3 and Game 5. Those are the most important games of any series. Game 3, because you take a 2-1 lead, you take a 3-0 lead, however it works. You got to win the game. You got to win the odd games. 1, 3, 5, 7. Those are the games that you got to win. You have to every single time, non-negotiable. And the Nuggets know that, and I'm sure the OKC Thunder know that, and they're wanting to come into Denver tonight and make a statement. It's going to be a crazy game. Again, tipping off at 8 p.m. But moving on, the Rockies, as if they couldn't get worse, they keep getting worse. It's just a terrible, terrible story to watch how the Rockies continue to fall, and it's just getting worse and worse. Kris Bryant has joined the IL once again. This is his 9th time since 2022 that he has joined the IL. He is going to get back surgery in California, and it will keep him out for an extended period of time. Watching Kris Bryant is not fun. It's not fun to watch Kris Bryant. He's one of those that you had such high hopes for, and it's just all falling apart for Kris Bryant. I mean, this was a guy who the Rockies paid $170 million for a 7-year contract, and he is not performing at a quarter of that. Since he has come to the Rockies in 500 possible games, he is 500 plus, over 500 games that the Rockies have played since he came to this team. He has only played in 170. The Rockies, it's coming to a point where talking about them on this show isn't talking about them because it's fun. It's talking about them because of how much worse can they get? How much worse? I mean, Kris Bryant is one of those guys where he was an MVP, and now he is performing at the worst level. I've got it right here. He's only played 11 games this season, 11 games. And in those games that he's played, he's recording a .154 batting average. 154? Oh my gosh, Kris Bryant. $170 million for 154, and now you're taking another extended leave. His 9th time on the IL since 2022. This will go down as the worst acquisition in Colorado sports history. It may seem bold to say that, but it shouldn't be, because this is the worst move I've ever seen a team make, and it just so happens it's here in Colorado. It's really just upsetting. And watching how the Rockies are right now, they're 6-31. 6 games they've won, 31 they've lost. Before the season opened, their win line was set at 60.5. Over under 60.5 games. That's still a 100-loss season if you bet the over. 100-loss season. Guess what it's at now? 42.5. 42. I'm so serious. The Rockies might lose 130 games this season. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on to something fun. Travis Hunter has officially finished his collegiate career. He is done. He has graduated college. He came back to Boulder despite being drafted 2 weeks ago. He came back to walk the stage at Folsom Field. And I know this may seem as insignificant news, but it is so cool to see a guy who is as great as Travis Hunter has really put a stamp on Boulder and made it his, brought this team out of the mud, come back and take his college graduation seriously, make it his. He won a Heisman, he gets drafted, but he never made sure to forget that he was a college athlete first. A student athlete. That's what you are. And there's something to be said about teams who are looking at one of the best players in the draft, I mean, somebody who's as dominant on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and he still takes academics this serious. It's really one of those stories that you hear where Travis Hunter is one of those guys, and I've got it right here because he was so incredible in college football. You know this. So incredible in college football. But if you look what he did on the academic side, he was incredible there too. I mean, he had a 3.79 GPA and was a 2-time academic All-American at Boulder. Just incredible. It's one of those things where if you're a coach, if you're a scout, and you're looking at players, who are you going to take? A guy who's great on offense and defense on both sides of the ball, both great, but one of them is 3.79 GPA, 2-time academic All-American at Boulder, does all of his work, got a degree in anthropology, just a great all-around guy and one of the most standout people you would ever meet. And then somebody who doesn't take it serious, doesn't take his student life serious at all. I know who I'd go for if I was the GM. Travis Hunter has done everything right, and there's so much praise that I can give to this guy, and I'm just so happy that he got the chance to come out of Boulder. He came from Colorado, and I know that he loves this state too. You watch what he does. He's a fisher, an outdoorsman. He loves this state. I really wish, I know this sounds bad, but gosh, if the Broncos could have just traded in the top 2 and got Travis Hunter, how much fun would that have been? Because there's so much love that I have for this player right here. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Let's see if the Nuggets bounce back. Yep, Michael, let's see. They're going to have to. But after a 43-point loss, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to bounce back after a 43-point loss. It's just terrible. Good morning. Good morning, Michael. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you all on Monday. Recapping, there's a couple big games going on. I mean, you got tonight for the Nuggets, and then you got on Sunday, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, by the way. On Sunday, another big game, Game 4. The Nuggets could be down when I come back on Monday. They could be down 3-1, but they could also be up 3-1. So we got to pray for the best here. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you all on Monday. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye, y'all.